you so much for the invitation. It's my first time to be in Finland, in Norway, and it's a great country. This country is so clean and nice, the air is fresh. Even in the capital city, you can still feel and breathe the fresh air. And it's so nice to see some acquaintances before here. But then I forgot about them. But then they reminded me. Well, they were still small when we parted each other before back in the Philippines, but they are very grown-ups, and I can recognize them. Thanks for reminding me. And I miss English as well, because of the quality of music that you hear. But thank you, Advent ambassadors. It's quality music that you deliver. To God be the glory. Now I prepare a message for us today, maybe 20-25 minutes, maybe more, forgive me, but it is to challenge us today, and this will kind of give us the idea of what we are going to get during our workshops tomorrow, full-fledged. And despite that it is only a small time that we gather, we hope that we will be able to deliver something that you really need and something that will help you. Christ died for us all. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
He died for us all, including the Hindus, the Muslims, the Jews, the Greeks, the Pinoys, the British, the Africans, the Norwegians. Now, because He died for us all, He is no respecter of person. So when we say each one reach one, we are not just thinking about our own kind. We are thinking of others as well whom Jesus Christ died. In fact, in Ephesians chapter 1, verse 5, it says that He predestined us to be adopted as His sons through Jesus Christ in accordance with His pleasure and His will. So God decided in advance to adopt us into His own family by bringing us into Himself through Jesus Christ. And this is what He wanted to do. And it gave Him a great pleasure. And the decision of God to save us is kind of one-sided, because it has been decided before and even without your involvement in the process. The decision to adopt us did not involve you or me. It's heaven's choice. And your and my involvement is whether you accept it or you are not going to accept it. The original plan of God is for man to live eternally, but as you know very well, man has sinned and we are lost. But with His plan of redemption, He, again, the destiny of every man is forever with Him. Because of His love, He predestined us to be going to heaven with Him. Now, if we will be lost, that is not God's fault or problem, because He proactively did His best in order to save us. If I am walking in the road like this, to give you an illustration, and I am walking on the road towards my home because I'm going home, it's 20 miles away. It may get me there quite a long time, but I will get there eventually. I'm going home. 20 miles, but I'm going home. Now, because you are a good Christian, suppose you are this Christian, you've got a nice ride, and you've got a nice car, and you've got a kind heart. You stop by the road to give me a ride. That's so kind of you. Now, I will get there, I will get my home earlier because you gave me a ride. I will get to my home earlier, and I save myself from a lot of blisters on my feet by walking. Thank you. But even if you did not stop and offer me a ride, I will get there because I'm going home anyway. It will take a lot of time. I will have some blisters maybe, but I will I'll get home anyway. So that is what the text is saying. People in the world are predestined by God be home with God according to His will, with or without our participation. Jesus came, and the Bible says that He is the light. In fact, in John chapter 1 verse 9, the true light which gives light to everyone was coming into the world. Somehow, somewhere, and sometime, people who are living here should have the knowledge of Jesus, or even the opportunity to know Jesus, or even the chance to know Him, because He is the light of the world. That's the point. In fact, God does not leave it to anybody of us to determine the people's eternal destiny. It is God who determines their destiny. Without question, of course, we can bring the good news of salvation to others and be used as God's instruments to reach for them. As in the parable about me walking my journey towards home, we can cut short their search for God for years if we go and tell, that's for sure. But with or without your cooperation, God had already took the initiative for me to get home. He already took the necessary steps for me to be with Him in heaven. Now, what is the purpose of Christian witness then? Why is it that we say each one should reach one? If we are all, as people here on earth, are called to, or predestined to be adopted as His sons and daughters, why? What is the purpose of Christian witness? Why do we need to reach out to others? Why does one need to reach out to someone? Can't God reach out to them without our help? Why does He ask us to become involved? Wouldn't it be have been better to leave the work for the angels to do the work of soul winning and give it to them, because they are surely more capable than us? Testimonies, Volume 3, page 391. Whatever necessity there is for our agency in the advancement of the cause of God, He has purposely arranged for our good. It is for our own good that we are asked to be involved. Let me illustrate by saying this. There was a story was told of two men walking with insufficient clothes for winter in an afternoon, and they were caught up in a blizzard. Really thick snow, and the road and the way cannot be seen, and it's difficult to get home. And a stormy, heavy snow afternoon, and they were having insufficient winter clothing. They were still distance away from home, and the temperature radically changed and dropped, and it was freezing cold. There was a very thin, slim chance of survival. In fact, one of them gave up. He stopped walking. Don't stop moving. The other guy said, don't stop moving. You've got to keep moving, or you will freeze to death. And the other guy said, we are dead already anyway. We are dead already. And so he gave up. The other guy decided not to leave this guy. He decided to carry him. The other guy was heavy. He had to exert more effort. It wasn't easy, but while he was walking, instead of his blood freezing, he got his blood moving. The belly of the other guy on his back produced that heat. And the other person needed, but also he needed, because both of them has insufficient clothing. And so he was so exhausted to be able to arrive to the nearest house. But he was alive. And in fact, the other guy was alive too. His purpose was to save the other person, but by doing that, he recognized that he also saved himself. Each one reached one. You try to save others, you realize that you're saving yourself too. God will not send angels from heaven to do the work which He has left man to do. He has given all the work to do for the very reason that He might prove them and that they might reveal their true character. It is for our training. It is for the molding of our inner self. That is what God has in mind. We share, we reach out for the sake of others, and for God and for God Himself, and the inevitable result is that our souls are truly blessed. Now, I don't know if you agree with this, but if you notice that man, the desire to share any good news comes